As the train was leaving, my daughter waved at me with a big smile on her face. It had been about 2 months since she last saw my husband, and she was eagerly looking forward to visiting him. As soon as she boarded the train, I sent a message to my husband. About 4 hours after I got home, my daughter called me. I had told her to call when she arrived, so I assumed it was her checking in. "Hello, Sarah. Did you make it to San Francisco and meet up with your father?" I asked. Her response, in an unhappy voice, caught me off guard. "Mom, come and pick me up, please." "What's wrong?" I asked, concerned. "I didn't get to meet Dad." "What do you mean?" "I don't know, but I haven't heard from him. When I went to his house, some strange woman turned me away." "What?" "My name is Liddy. I have a family of 3 with my husband, Robert, and our 11-year-old daughter, Sarah. I conceived my husband's child while I was still in college, so I'm 32 years old now. After our baby was born, I managed to finish college with my parents' support. Since then, I have been a housewife. The unexpected pregnancy and early marriage caused confusion and concern among those around us, making it a difficult time. However, my husband assured me that he had always planned to marry me and it was just a matter of time. After graduating, my husband got a job at a well-known company. With a good starting salary and company housing, we didn't struggle financially and lived happily together. We didn't have a traditional honeymoon phase, but our daughter was so precious that it didn't matter. My husband adored her and always took care of her on weekends, allowing me to relax and spend time with friends. Life was good, and I had no complaints. Time flew by, and soon our daughter started elementary school. By then, my husband had been working for the same company for about 7 years and had been promoted. Although he had more responsibilities and came home later, we still enjoyed family road trips on weekends and created many happy memories. I believed these joyful times would continue for a long time. However, one day, my husband's company decided to transfer him. Despite having a family, our daughter was already 11 years old, and he could no longer refuse the transfer due to her age. Moreover, this new assignment was crucial for his career, and his future promotions depended on it. Since the company had many replacements for him, this relocation was unavoidable for his advancement. With our daughter soon entering junior high and high school, and the expenses that come with it, I had to support his transfer for his career growth. The assignment was supposed to last about 6 months, which seemed manageable. However, my daughter was worried about being away from her father. My husband reassured her that he would call every day and visit on weekends to keep her from feeling lonely. Even though she was sad about not seeing her dad as often, my daughter accepted it. We saw him off with smiles, and a few days later, he called us on video, spending a lot of time talking with our daughter. He made sure to call before she even missed him, leaving me to wonder which one of them was the child. Seeing my husband and daughter talking on the phone is so heartwarming. I could tell they were getting along well with each other. On the first weekend, he was too busy to come home, but the next week, he made time and came back on a Friday. I'm grateful to my husband for prioritizing our family amidst his hard work. My daughter was thrilled to have dinner with her father after so long. However, about 2 months after his new life started, his behavior began to change. He used to call our daughter every 3 days, but the frequency of these calls decreased until he stopped calling altogether. I knew he was busy with work, living alone, and handling all the house chores. I assumed once he got used to the new workplace, he'd have more chances to go out for drinks with his colleagues. I didn't want to pressure him, so I didn't urge him to contact us. Despite understanding his busy schedule, my husband rarely contacted me anymore. He also visited less frequently. I explained to my daughter that her father was busy, but I could see she was grieving, even if she didn't express it. This wasn't a good situation. Knowing he was swamped with work, I asked my husband to call her, even if just for 5 minutes. Our daughter always seemed somewhat lonely at home. My husband apologized but didn't call Sarah. Her birthday was coming up on Saturday. I hoped he would come home to surprise us. She also hoped, saying, "Maybe Daddy will come home." But on her birthday, my husband didn't come home, nor did he call to wish her a happy birthday. My daughter was deeply disappointed. Furious, I called my husband several times and left messages. Lately, he hadn't been picking up my calls or returning them. After about the 5th call, he finally answered. "What's wrong?" "You've been calling a lot," he said. "What are you doing? It was Sarah's birthday today. It's Saturday and you didn't come home or even call to wish her a happy birthday." Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that. Sarah hadn't seen you in a long time. She was expecting you for her birthday. Tell her I'm really sorry and that I wish her a happy birthday. No matter what I said, he just apologized. Frustrated, I hung up. As I did, my anger flared up again. I sent him a message. Please think about your daughter and take better care of her. You may be busy, but you are being too disrespectful. His only response was, I understand. I'm sorry. There was no improvement after that. Another month passed, and my daughter went on summer vacation. She told me that if her father couldn't come, she would go to meet him. She had been saying this every day since summer vacation started. I decided to take the opportunity and let her visit my husband alone. She was enthusiastic about experiencing something new. We live in Los Angeles, and my husband is currently in San Francisco. She could get there by train. I would drive her to the station and my husband would pick her up at the other end. My husband agreed to the plan. Now my daughter could finally see her father for the first time in a long while. On Saturday, I saw her off and went home. She waved at me with a big smile as the train was leaving. It had been 2 months since she last saw her father, so she must have been really looking forward to it. I sent a message to my husband just as my daughter got on the train. About 4 hours after I got home, I received a call from my daughter. It was around noon, and she had boarded the train early in the morning. She must have met up with my husband and had lunch before calling me. I had told her to call me when she arrived, so I assumed she was checking in. Hello, Sarah. Did you make it to San Francisco and meet up with your father? To my surprise, she responded in an unhappy voice. Mom, pick me up right now, please. What? What's wrong? I didn't see Daddy. What do you mean? I don't know, but I haven't heard from him. When I went to his house, some strange woman turned me away. What? I was in shock but knew I had to pick up my daughter as soon as possible. Where are you? I asked. I'm back at San Francisco Station. I'm going into a fast food restaurant to wait. I got into the car and headed for the station, quickly buying a ticket and boarding the next train to San Francisco. When I finally arrived, my daughter looked at me, tears welling up in her eyes. We went to a nearby cafe, and to lift her spirits, I ordered the famous pancakes from the area. Her face lit up a little when the pancakes arrived, and she seemed to enjoy them, looking a bit calmer. Then, I asked her what happened. According to her, she couldn't reach my husband when she arrived at the San Francisco station. After waiting for about 30 minutes with no sign of him, she decided to take matters into her own hands and go to his house by herself. I had given her my husband's address in case something like this happened. Being a Gen Z girl, she used her smartphone to navigate there quickly. She got on the train and went to my husband's house. When she rang the doorbell, a woman's voice answered, "Who are you?" My daughter, surprised but managing to respond, said, "I'm here to see my dad." The woman told my daughter to go home and not to see her dad because she was in the way. She hung up without even opening the door. My daughter then went back to the San Francisco station, feeling dejected. Hearing this, I was so angry that I couldn't contain myself. "If she told you not to see your daddy, then let's do that," I said, taking my daughter home and immediately starting preparations to move out. When I explained the situation to my parents, they were furious and offered to help in any way they could. For the time being, they let us temporarily live with them until I could find a job. My husband called and said, "I didn't see Sarah at the station. Did something happen?" It seemed his adulterous woman hadn't told him that she had turned his daughter away. Since there was no word from my husband on my daughter's phone when I went to pick her up, I doubted he even went to the station. Dumbfounded, I decided to let it slide. "Sarah got sick on the way there and had to turn around," I replied. "I just finished at the hospital, and I'm sorry I couldn't call you." "I see. I understand," he responded. I ended the exchange by saying I would call again if anything else happened. I was pissed off because it was so obvious he was just pretending to be worried about us. I decided to focus on punishing my husband. First, I sent his belongings to his address. Then, I received the results of the investigation I had ordered from the detective agency. I sent proof of his affair along with a certified letter to his workplace. A few days later, everything must have arrived because my husband called me like a demon. "What are you doing?" he demanded. "Huh? I just thought I'd let you all know what you've been up to," I said. "You've got to be kidding me. We're in the middle of a big problem here." "Of course we are. That's what I was trying to do. And I can't believe you're sending me my belongings here. I don't need your stuff, and I don't pay rent anymore." "What?" Sarah and I moved out of that apartment. Oh, you left that rental apartment. When did you leave? About a month ago. What? Then no one lived there for a month and we still had to pay the rent. Well, that's true, but it's in your name, so it's none of my business. No. You're about to be 2 months behind on your rent and get evicted. Is that why I've been getting calls from an unknown number lately? We'll be in trouble if we lose that apartment. Why don't we just continue to live in San Francisco? You sent a certified letter to the company. I'm in big trouble because they found out about my affair. They're going to call a replacement from headquarters and move me back to Los Angeles. If you send me all this stuff, it will be hard for me to go back to Los Angeles, especially without a home there. I almost laughed because the plan worked better than I had anticipated. But then I calmed myself and said, you've hurt Sarah and me so much that you're going to have to pay the price. And it's not over yet. I'm going to demand a divorce, alimony, and child support. Oh no, let's just go through the lawyers and get this over with, I said, hanging up the phone. After that, I hired a lawyer and everything proceeded as I had declared. The divorce was finalized without incident and alimony was claimed against my ex-husband and his mistress. I also asked for child support from my ex-husband. The unprecedented incident of my husband returning from a transfer because of his affair made him the target of laughter within the company. Female employees gave him mean looks, and he could no longer expect a promotion. But he couldn't quit because he had to pay alimony and child support. He must feel ashamed of himself. My daughter became disillusioned with her father, and when he apologized and said he wanted to see her, she refused. He really deserved it. I was able to find a job, and my daughter and I now live happily together in an apartment. I'm working hard to support her and watch her grow up.